So this is how it's going to be. Every couple of days, I'll drop some knowledge. You guys will pick it up. You guys will spread it around. And it'll multiply. That's the simple mathematics. See, the problem with mathematics, the way it's taught in school, is it's taught abstractly, right? People see numbers on a piece of paper, and they don't really understand what it means. They can't visualize it. And Montessori, what they use is they use these little beads, right? You have one bead for one, two beads for two, and so on and so on. So you get to see how many is in 10 and how many is in 24 and how many is in 100 or 1,000. And it gives you some perspective, right? But the problem is our school system is taught to enslave the mind in a way that makes you compliant to the system that's at hand. And a system that's at hand is a system that's been in place for a very long time that exploits poor people and makes rich people richer. And that is why you have people that are billionaires and you have people that are poor and broke. Do you know what's one real simple solution for the whole homeless problem? Is how about this? How about all those homeless people that live in the bad areas, how about we drop them in Arcadia and let them live in all these empty houses that are just bought as investment property and see how that works? How would you like that? Right? They wouldn't like that. They don't ever want to help. You know what's another simple thing we could do? Instead of growing like useless trees that just drop pods, why don't we all grow trees that produce fruit? What if every corporate building and every business and every government building grew at least 5 fruit trees on the property? Why? So if you come by, you're hungry, you can grab a piece of fruit, right? Why don't they do that? Well, because it would upset the apple cart, and they wouldn't be able to charge you for food anymore. Well, guess what? We have more than enough food. We throw away more food than we even eat. So why is that? Why are we so greedy? Why are we so selfish that we can't share the food? Because it comes back to greed and money. And people put their faith in money and dollar bills when it's really fiat money. Do you know what fiat money means? Fiat, it means it's useless, it's worthless, right? Fiat. Anyone who buys a fiat car, you're an idiot. You're buying a car that means worthless. Think about it. Fiat money is worthless money, it's paper money. And back in 1971, Nixon needed some money to fight the war in Vietnam, so he did 2 things. Number one thing he did was he went off the gold standard. At the time, gold was $35 an ounce, right? So he went off the gold standard because at the time, 1 ounce of a 1 ounce dollar coin was worth so much gold, right? Well, that constrained the ability to grow the inflation of the money because you couldn't grow gold that fast. So they took it off the gold standard and they made it fiat money, and they just started printing more money. And that's why the stock market has been going up this whole time, is because they're just printing more money. Well, guess what? All that paper money is inflation, and it's not even worth anything. Let me tell you one thing. You take your garbage out in plastic, and by plastic I mean plastic credit cards, and you wipe your butt with paper. You don't wipe your butt with gold and silver, right? Gold and silver has been the currency since before man. And in fact, it's probably the currency that the aliens came here and dropped their DNA here and created whatever we are today, Gold is a currency for hundreds of thousands of years, 10,000 years at least. And why all of a sudden we go away from it? Why? Because it's greed. Because you realize you can print more paper. Right? Well, guess what? I like gold. I think gold is a safe investment because guess what? Back in 1971, the gold was going for $35. Now it's going for $1,500 an ounce. How's that for inflation? That inflation is the inflation of the dollar bill becoming more worthless. Because back in 71, a dollar bill was worth so much, $100 worth of gold was worth $35. It was $35 an ounce, right? $35 an ounce. Now it's $1,500 an ounce. I mean, someone do the math for me. That's quite a big increase, don't you think? And silver's the same way. Now, in the Bible, it says that God is like a smelter of souls, and he will purify you like the goldsmith purifies gold. Now, why does the Bible always talk about gold and silver? Well, because it's a special, precious material. The tabernacle is made out of gold. The Ark of the Covenant is made out of gold. The Aztec gold is what the Spanish came over and wanted to steal from the Aztecs, and the silver from the Inca Indians, too. So, that's what they did. They took a gold and silver. Why? Because it's worth something. What's paper worth? I can print my own paper money. I mean, you realize that any laser printer out there has a encryption software that prevents it from scanning a dollar bill? Because any laser printer can print a dollar bill just like you see coming off of the Federal Reserve. And it has technology. But they have to put some encryption in there so you don't do it. Well, guess what? If you beat that encryption, all you got to do is wash dollars and print whatever currency you want. It's simple. And people are already doing it. That's why some places don't take large bills anymore. Because they can't afford the fact that it's probably going to be a counterfeit dollar bill. So, We're at 5 minutes. I'm going to go 9 minutes of knowledge on you. Check this out. So, why do we have the drug war? Well, the drug war is really convenient because it allows the powers in power to stop and harass brown people for something that's as simple as smoking weed. Why is smoking weed so bad? Weed has been around for 10,000 years and people have used it. Why is it bad all of a sudden? Well, because white guys don't smoke weed. The guys in charge don't. Well, they do, but they don't admit to it. And then they want to persecute brown people. Now, if there's more white people in this country, which there are, and there's less brown people, why are there more brown people in jail than white people for doing drugs? The white people are the ones that are buying all the drugs. Come on. White people like cocaine. It's expensive. So think about it. What's happening with all these dollar bills? Well, as they're printing dollar bills, they get into the system and they end up drain down to Mexico and Colombia because that's where the drug money is going, right? So Mexico and Colombia are sitting on billions of dollars in cash, and they use it as currency in their own countries. Why does that help us? Well, it alleviates cash flow from our area and makes it look like we need to print more cash. So they print more cash. So really, the whole drug war is an opportunity to harass brown people, to sell military equipment to other countries, and to print more money because we're draining all this money down to Mexico. And they're sitting on it. Well, that's just a trick. They're sitting on paper. They're not sitting on gold, baby. Then you can wipe your ass with paper, man. It's not worth nothing. We're getting our drugs for nothing. And they believe that the $20 bill is worth something. You know? And they're the ones. It's funny. It's paper. You grow more trees. Let me ask you something. You can grow more trees. You can't. There's only a finite amount of gold and silver on this planet. There's not more coming in. You can grow as many trees. So what does that tell you? You can grow more paper. You can make more paper dollar bills. You can't grow more gold. You can try to find some, but it's pretty much all been dug up. All right? It's all out there. Same thing with silver. You know? They're still buying silver today, but it's not like back in the days. Back in the days, there's gold everywhere. It's all been used up. Why? You say, why are you using up gold? Your cell phone that you're watching this video on and your computer that you watch this video on has gold circuits. It's a very good conductor. It's good for things. It's not only good for jewelry and coins and nice chains, but it's good for conducting electricity as a current. It has very low, what they call, not latency, but resistance. It's very low resistance. Silver, too. Silver is a great conductor. Copper is a good conductor. And then you get down to cheaper metals. And that's the whole point, is metals are worth something. So what's your credit card worth, huh? Someone steals your identity and then takes all your money, and now you owe all this interest. What's your paper money worth? I had this one guy at my work. He was so miserable. He hated his job, but he would come in every day for that paycheck, right? And in 3 years, he's a single guy. He didn't own a house. He accumulated about $250,000, $250,000. And one day he was so proud and wanted to know how much money I made and everything. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm $400,000 in debt. So what? I'm happy. I got a family and I'm doing stuff. And this guy is miserable. Well, guess what? One day he really got on my nerves. So I told him, hey, buddy, why don't you go to the bank and try to withdraw $100,000 of that money in your 401k and see what happens to you. And his face got all scared. And that's when he realized that money isn't his money. It's the banker's money. They're the ones holding it. So if your money's in the bank, how can you get it? They don't give it to you. What happens if your debit card gets compromised? You're hosed, buddy. Keep cash on hand. Keep going to safe. And hold on to your guns, baby. 9 minutes of knowledge. It's all over. Boom.